Good evening, boys and girls. Where the hell have I been? Well, I will show you. I had to go and get myself a little feline friend. He came to me. He showed up at my doorstep unexpectedly. This here is Ash. He's gonna be maybe 5 weeks old now. He was 4 weeks when I got him, rather when he came to me. What happened was I was selling a bunch of stuff on Facebook Marketplace, and one of my buyers said, "Oh, by the way, we found this cat in the dirt. This little kitten. Do you want it?" And of course I did. And it just so happened to be a beautiful little black cat that I always wanted. And he would have died had it not been for me taking him in. And now I'm proud to say, no parasites, no giardia, no nothing. His weight's good. I got him the super duper healthy cat package at the vet. He's got a swanky kitten bachelor pad now. It's like, he's pretty damn spoiled, if I have to say so myself. But yeah, his name is Ash because, he's black like ashes are, but also because of Ash Williams from the Evil Dead movies, Ashley Wilkes from Gone with the Wind, Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, and there's the biblical name Asher, which has not been done to death like so many biblical names have. But, the combination of all those things definitely gave rise to his name, and I have to say, he is such a sweet boy. Look at that little face. Isn't he beautiful? I'm so pleased with him. He's such a good boy. And needless to say, he will be a feature of the show from now on, assuming that he walks into camera while I'm filming this. But yeah, where the hell have I been? Well, on top of, taking care of an unexpected feline companion who I love and adore to death, on top of that, I'm just trying to basically get my life together a little bit, taking a little bit of a break to, stabilize things. Plus, found some interesting pickups that I wanted to show you. There's only a few things that I would call big ticket items necessarily, although there's one in particular that I'm going to save for another video. But this one's just kind of to catch you up a bit. So the most readily obvious one, I suppose, would be the It's a Wonderful Life steelbook that Amazon put out, which this one has the film in 4K finally, which, no, this wasn't Amazon. This was not Amazon exclusive. That's just where I got it. But yeah, I love that it has the original poster there. It actually comes with a mini poster that is not physically in here because I put it with the other posters that I got to frame still. But yeah, I mean, what can you say about It's a Wonderful Life? It's just, Christmas is coming up, and not only is this probably the best Christmas film ever made, it's just one of the best films ever made. I mean, again, what can I say that hasn't already been said a million times? It's just perfect. And then some eBay finds. You remember I sold those other not so good looking Avengers and Thor individual sets, the individual titles. Well, these are these UK box sets that will go along with the ones that I already have. I like the artwork better. I like that this folds out so nicely. You can see all the characters. You can see just what a beautifully vast cinematic universe Marvel Studios was able to create, or rather realize, out of the already vast universe of the Marvel Comics. And as you can see, there are all the UK discs, including the UK title of the first one, which is Avengers Assemble, which actually kind of makes more sense than just Marvel's The Avengers, and the reason why they had to call it that was because of, if I recall, the British television show The Avengers, which was about spies. It had nothing to do with superheroes, but I think they did that just for legal, reasons. But beautiful set, has the first 3 Avengers films, does not have Endgame, but I have the steelbook of that, so it's all good. And, of course, those crappy, Thor covers, no more. Got the beautiful box set of that on 4K there, which don't want to dwell on these too much because you've already seen the other sets that I had, but they're the original posters there, which look a lot better than that bullshit artwork that we Americans got. I still don't know why they insisted on having that. It just looked terrible. I don't know why they decided to go with it. And then got a few acquisitions from Second and Charles. Got Rango with the slipcover. I was going to say highly underrated animated film, but it actually won an Oscar for Best Animated Film. The only Nickelodeon movie to win such an award. A couple others were nominated, but it got the award, and it really deserved it. It was a damn good movie. Very unusual as far as animated films go, but really damn good. I'm glad to have it in the collection. I just wish more people would talk about it these days. And then what else do I have? Got The Rundown with The Rock, one of his best movies, I think. I have to admit I haven't seen all of his movies, but this one is a particularly good one. Has a joyously campy performance from Christopher Walken. He has that line, "I've been good to you," and then his assistant's like, "General, what?" He kind of squawks as he says that. And then just because I wanted to complete the collection, and because this is kind of hard to find with the slipcover, the fourth Spy Kids film, which I've never seen. I've heard it's like irredeemably bad. The third one was pretty awful, but I just wanted to complete the series there, and I'd never seen it. Price tag is still on there for some reason. There we go. But yeah, this one actually has the 3D disc with it as well, which I don't have a 3D player, but whatever, maybe someday. If I really have the desire to watch this in 3D. And then another one that I've heard is absolute dog shit, but at least it's independent, and at least it's hopefully a little bit off the beaten track, which is Yoga Hosers, which I've heard nothing but horrible things about it, and we'll see how it goes. But Lily Rose Depp, Harley Quinn Smith, and Kevin Smith and Johnny Depp are in here as well, so their fathers are in there. But I liked what Lily Rose Depp and Harley Quinn Smith. I like what they did in Tusk, and apparently they're playing the same characters. So there you go. And a certain someone is biting my leg, as he likes to do in his Kitten stage. So if you hear me go "ow," that's why. And then just a few quick slipcover acquisitions. Bombshell there. And then Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps, which again I already had that, but I just got the slip with it. And got the 2007 animated Wonder Woman. This is the 2017 re-release edition with that super cool slip. Excuse me. And you want to say hi to the people again? Say hi, Ash. Yeah. See, he's in his nippy, bitey, scratchy phase because he's still just a youngin'. And now the big thing that I wanted to show off was just some of the custom covers I printed off. I printed off the 3 Days of the Condor here with that kind of emulation of, black felt tip pen kind of look there. Then I got The Crow there, which that one looks closer to the original theatrical poster, which of course is great. And then From Hell there, which you saw, but what's that? The disc is inside of it. That's right. This was a acquisition that I got from, I think it was Second and Charles, but I put it in the custom slip there, and the original covers on the inside. And then, what else? I already had Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, but this cover here looks great. It kind of evokes the look of Fury Road, but as you can see, it kind of has a little bit more dynamism to it than the original cover has. What else do I have? The Brian De Palma film Passion, which look how cool that cover is. Still gotta watch the movie. Hey, stop scratching stuff. What else? Rock and Rolla, which this is a Region 2 cover, but I just have the Region 1 disc, but it doesn't matter to me because I have a Region 3 player. It just happened to look cool, but I put that double feature cover on the inside. And then The Runner with Nicolas Cage. Still got to track down that slip, but this will do in the meantime. And then this one you already saw, but I redesigned it, Savages, because I found a higher res image than the one I was using, and I think this looks so much cooler than the official one. And yeah, I'm just pleased with how well that turned out. But that's one I made myself. And then Secretary, which you saw, but you didn't see it with the disc inside. And this was another Second and Charles pickup, but see, there's the official artwork on the inside. But, I mean, you know, you got to assume the position as it says. And then the original Snakes on the Plane cover looked cool, but, you know, this is kind of a neat substitute or a neat change of pace. But, you know, the original cover looks so cool that it's like you gotta still have it on the inside. If nothing else, that way you can swap them if you want. And then Suburbicon there, which that looks cooler than the normal cover that you see for this film. And still have it on the inside. It's another one of those, like, I couldn't quite track down the slip, but it's like, hey, in the event of that, you know, get a cooler looking cover anyway. And then we got Swordfish here, which I just popped this red case on here just to be cool and different. Kind of a neat cover there. And boring ass disc, though, I have to say, in terms of artwork. And then Tombstone, which, look how cool that cover is. I was really pleased with how cool that turned out. And then these two here actually came in that Tron disc, you know, that special set. But I just printed off some custom covers for them because they look cool. Tron, the original, with that really cool artwork. And then got Tron Legacy in 3D, which you would have sworn that this was official. It looks like it, but there's no barcode, and but it is, I just put it in this case that has all the slots for all the discs and stuff. And then Up in the Air, which this looks pretty sweet. One of my favorite movies of the 2000s with George Clooney, my favorite performance of his. And then we got The Wrestler there, which that looked pretty cool also. The original cover is still great. I still have it, but, you know, neat change of pace. Well, that's kind of the main event, but I really wanted to show off, well, not just a little furry somebody who's on my lap, but I also wanted to show off some more custom covers that I got for a very specific series, which I have been binge watching like crazy lately, and that is the James Bond series, because when Skyfall came out, many of us will remember that big 22 film box set, which then became 23 films once Skyfall actually came out. They re-released that set. And then, but anyway, I got that set off of eBay. I never really liked that it was kind of off on its own, and it was in that, you know, booklet with the discs where they just barely fit in there and you had to jam them out. So what I did was I found this one user on Custom Maniacs. I can't remember his name, but he did a whole James Bond series of custom covers with the original posters and make them all uniform and everything. And they just look incredible, so I want to show those off. Dr. No there. And I'll have to do like formal reviews of these, but this is just to show you. From Russia with Love. Yeah, I've just been binge watching these like crazy. Goldfinger, and I just like that he goes with the original posters, which that's always what I prefer. I like seeing the original posters because that's what presumably would have, you know, attracted people's eyes in the cinema in the first place. Thunderball, of course. And then here's the really cool thing. So anybody that knows their James Bond knows that there are the 24, soon to be 25, once No Time to Die actually comes out in 2021. But there are those 25 official Eon Productions James Bond films, but there are two James Bond films that are not Eon Productions and thus are not canon to the film series, but they are technically they are official James Bond book adaptations because they were done, through the proper legal channels, so they didn't rip them off or anything. But this person actually did those movies. The first being Casino Royale, the 1967 comedic version of that story. He actually put it in that same James Bond collection there, but what he did, it was so clever, was so they're all numbered. All the official entries are all numbered, so you know what order they go in when you put them on your shelf. But if you know the chronology and you want these in the collection because they're technically James Bond adaptations, but they're just not official or whatever, but they're in that same style, so you can go ahead and put them in with the rest of them. This is a German release that I got because, believe it or not, the this one and the other one that's not official, the US releases of those are really pricey. So the German one that I got of this one, and then the Scandinavian one I got of the other film that we're going to look at, they're all region free, but and they're less pricey, obviously, which just, I didn't show them off one by one, but basically all the discs for the official artwork, for the official films, they all look like that. So there's not a whole lot to see, but it's just cool because you can put these in with the rest of the James Bond films. Because I often wondered with that other set, it's like, where do you put them? Do you put them up there, with the box? Do you put them separate because they're not, part of the Eon series? What do you do? Well, you can put them in chronological order like I do, but this one just happens to not be numbered, which is proper because, well, it's not part of the official series. And then you go right back into official continuity with, You Only Live Twice, which this poster's kind of weird, but, what can you do? I assume it was one of the official artwork designs at some point. On Her Majesty's Secret Service, which I rewatched the other night. By far the most emotional out of all the Bond films. The only time when you really feel like James Bond is someone that can really get his heart broken. This is the one I'm rewatching at the moment, Diamonds Are Forever, the last Sean Connery Bond that is in the official Eon timeline, or the official Eon canon. And then, of course, Live and Let Die, which that has to be one of my favorite James Bond posters to one of my favorite James Bond movies. And again, I'll have to dive into these all at some point to talk about each one once I've rewatched them all. The Man with the Golden Gun, one of my personal favorite James Bond films. And we got The Spy Who Loved Me, which, if you go on Custom Maniacs and you look for these, you should be able to find them if you want to print them off yourself. Moonraker, aka James Bond in Space, which is pretty ridiculous. Oh, I forgot. From Russia with Love is basically the one with the James Bond sex tape, which, that's what we would call it nowadays. And then, of course, For Your Eyes Only. And then we got Octopussy there with how in the hell did they get away with that title, which I guess technically blame Ian Fleming because that was a book title. Most of the James Bond films were based on Ian Fleming's books to some degree, except for the most recent ones, which, have been original stories. Now, Casino Royale came out in the same year as You Only Live Twice, and the original Casino Royale. And then in the same year as Octopussy, you had the other non-Eon Productions Bond film that still was an official adaptation of a James Bond novel, actually a second adaptation of Thunderball, and that was Never Say Never Again, the last time that Sean Connery ever played Bond, which, and again, it's not official, it was released by Warner Brothers, whereas Casino Royale was released by Columbia Pictures. MGM owns the rights to both of them now, and as you can see, it's the Scandinavian release because it was cheaper. Both region free. I've never seen this one. I will eventually, but it's so if you don't count any of the unofficial ones, then Roger Moore actually holds the record of having played Bond 7 times. If you do count the unofficial ones, then he and Sean Connery are tied at 7. If you don't, then Sean Connery would have done it 6 times officially. And then, of course, A View to a Kill with Christopher Walken as Max Zorin. That was the last Roger Moore one. The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton. License to Kill with Timothy Dalton. And then, of course, the James Bond of my youth, Pierce Brosnan with GoldenEye. Great Bond film. Even more legendary video game, of course, as we all know. Tomorrow Never Dies. The World Is Not Enough with Sophie Marceau, probably the most beautiful Bond girl of all time. And Die Another Day, which was awful, and I can see why it kind of killed the series for a few years. And technically, this is the last in the original I say continuity very loosely because the continuity in the Bond films is pretty loose, to say the least, but they officially rebooted it with Casino Royale, which I put this in the 4K case because I got the normal big set comes with just this disc, but I got the 4K disc separately and combined the two because that the Daniel Craig films, they got their 4K releases. Quantum of Solace, which I do not remember this movie at all. Like, I remembered how insane the opening action sequence is, but that was about it. I remember so little about the film. It was so disappointing relative to how good Casino Royale was, but luckily they came back with Skyfall, which was, of course, one of the best Bond films ever, and probably the best of the, modern era, at least. Now this, I have the 4K disc. I don't have the Blu-ray. I will track it down separately because you can find the disc only for pretty cheap. And of course Spectre, which I did not see this in the theater. I still have not watched this, so I gotta watch it before I watch No Time to Die, whenever that comes out. And again, gotta track down that disc separately. And what's really cool about this particular line of custom covers, and the reason why I got that big ass box set that's from 2012 is because it comes with this exclusive bonus disc that only comes on that set and not any other re-releases of all of them together. And this person put out a separate cover for that bonus disc, so how about that? And that was why I went with that one, and I just wanted to put them all in their nice little snazzy group of movies. Because, as our dear James Rolfe would say, isn't it just easier to grab a DVD off the shelf, or in this case a Blu-ray, and why would you want to cover it up in boxes? Well, we can do just that. We have them all in order, all the proper spines. We even have the non-Eon Films ones, all in a big happy James Bond family. And I have a happy family now because I have a little feline companion who will inevitably be a feature in future videos. So that's what I've been up to. If you like this, then please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, set phasers to stun, warp factor 5. I'll see you in the next video, and hopefully we have some bigger ticket items to show off. But yeah, I just wanted to catch you up on what all I've been up to.